Hello friends, welcome to Online Web Tutor. I am Sanjay. In this video we'll discuss a very interesting topic of CodeIgniter 4, and that is how to create a custom Spark CLI command. If I back to editor, so here I have opened a CodeIgniter 4 setup. By the help of this setup, we'll understand that how to create a custom Spark CLI command. So before creating custom commands, first thing first, we're going to discuss that what are Spark CLI commands. So Spark CLI commands are those commands, actually these are the latest feature which included inside CodeIgniter version 4. By the help of these commands, actually we can manage the entire application. If I go inside project terminal and type PHP Spark, when we press enter, it will provide a complete set of commands. We can see here we have multiple sections called cache, CodeIgniter, database, encryption, generators, and many more. Inside each section, we can see we have multiple commands. And by using each command, actually we can perform a certain specific operation. By the help of that, we can manage our CodeIgniter 4 application. So in this video, we want to see that how to create a custom Spark CLI command. Here, we can see that inside this cache, we have a cache clear command, cache info command. If we go inside CodeIgniter section, we can see env command, filter check command, help command, and many more. So these are predefined commands of CodeIgniter 4, but in this video we want to see or learn that how to create our own custom command. Now here, if we want to create our own custom command, then we need to take help of generator section and we need to make use of make command. Look at single line description, it generates a new Spark command. So before using this command, let's open its help manual, PHP Spark. If I type help keyword and the command name, and it is make command. If I press enter, now we can see that before using make command, we need to pass a name which is an argument, and this is the command class name. Optionally, we have multiple parameters which we can pass while using this make command. But we are not going to pass any of these optional parameters. Instead, we only pass this name argument. So what I will do here, let's say PHP Spark make command, and if I will call it as, let's say, test. Next, if we press enter, then it will create the command inside our application. But before pressing enter, if I go inside our setup, go inside app folder, now we can see that inside this directory structure, we don't have any commands folder. So when we press enter while executing this command, so this command will create a commands folder inside this app folder. Because before creating any custom command, there is no specific location. But once we create any custom command for this application, automatically a commands folder will be created. Back to terminal, if I press enter, now we can see that inside commands folder, we have a file called test.php. If I go inside project setup, app, now we can see here we have a new folder called commands, and inside this folder, we have a file called test.php. This test.php is a class which extends from base command, and we can see here inside this class we have multiple parameters like a protected group variable. Here we have a protected name, protected description, protected uses, and many more. So step by step we'll discuss all these things into great detail. But one more thing, as we can see that we have generated test.php. Let's use a suffix flag while using this make command. So here I will call it as PHP Spark make command, and if I type, let's say, user and pass suffix as a flag, so while passing suffix, it will generate a file called usercommand.php. Press enter. Now we can see that inside commands folder, we'll have a new file called usercommand.php. After using this suffix flag, automatically it added a command as a suffix with the file name. Go to project setup, commands folder, user command. Now we can see that user command, it is also extending base command. So I will discuss the whole thing all about these parameters by the help of this file called usercommand.php. So the first memory variable inside this user command, that is protected group, and here we have the by default value called CodeIgniter. And what basically it is, if I go inside terminal and type php spark, so as we had discussed earlier that inside this command list, here we can see multiple sections called cache, CodeIgniter, database, encryption. These are group names. So it means when we create this custom command, then automatically this command will be placed inside this CodeIgniter section. If we want to actually change the group name, so we can pass, let's say that if we want to place our custom command inside this cache, simple copy the group name, go here and paste it here. Now this time we are creating our custom command inside cache section. So if I go here, again type php spark. Now if you go inside our cache section, here we can see command name. Instead of using this cache, if let's use database, I will copy, put it here, save this file, again go here and type php spark. So hopefully we'll see our own custom command inside this database. So right now our custom command does not contain any information, so that's why we are seeing a default syntax and there is no description. Let's talk about a predefined command from this list. If I'm talking about make controller command, so let's open its help manual, php spark, make controller, but I want to open its help manual, so php spark help make controller. Now we can see that this is user guide of make controller command. So as we can see that here we have multiple sections called uses, where it describes that how to use make controller command. Next we have description, where it describes that why we need make controller command. Next we have an argument, where it says that we need to pass a name and that will be the controller class name. After this argument we have options. It means that these are optional parameters. So this is a complete guide to use make controller command. So if we want to create our own custom command in such a way which describes everything, so we need to follow some syntax and their declarations. So let's go back inside our php spark. If I go inside database, so here we have our own custom command. So instead of using a predefined section called database, let's create a new section. So to create a new section, just go here and I will call it as, let's say, custom command. If I save, again go here and type php spark. So here we can see after cache, CodeIgniter, now here we have our own section. So in this section here we have our custom command. So let's pass some description here. So go here, this is command name. So I will call it as, let's say, user:info. Let's go inside description, provide user details, and it will print that. If I save this change, let's clear this console and type php spark, press enter. Now if you go inside custom command, so as we can see user:info, which is the command name. And if we say its description, so in description provide user details and it will print that. So this is all about the discussion of command name and description. Now let's open the help manual of user info. So php spark help and type user:info. This is the command name, press enter. So we can see that inside this uses we have a default syntax, that is command name, arguments and section. In this actually the manual guide of user info command, there is no such type of description which helps any user to use that. So what I will do, first I will go and correct this uses section. So go here, go inside uses. Instead of command name, let's say user:info. Instead of arguments, let's pass a name here. If I save, again type the help manual command, and now we can see that it is saying user info, and then we need to pass a name, and here we'll have our optional parameters. Now also define a section of, that is, this is the argument and why basically it is useful. If I go here, this is an argument section which is basically attached with this name value. So if I go here, let's say name, provide the name of user. If I save this change, go here, press enter. Now we can see that in this help manual guide we can see user info. This is all about uses, and this is an argument. We can see here arguments, and this name, actually we need to provide the name of user. So step by step, now we have a user section, description and arguments. Now let's prepare for options parameter. Go here, here we have options, and inside this options array we need to pass our flags. So let's say that if I say username, that in this case we need to provide the username of person. Next, let's say if I will pass call email, provide the email address value of person. If I save this change, go here, again open the help manual of user info command. Now we can see that this is the command. We need to pass an argument, that is provide the name of user, or instead I will call it as name of person, let's say full name of person. Again go and open that. So we need to provide the name of full name of person, and inside this optional parameters we can use username and email address. So now this seems to be a complete guide before using this user info command. Now let's say that I'm going to use PHP Spark user info. So after using that command, what basically it will do, and this will be decided by using this run method. So what is the operation of any command? This basically is going to described by this run method. And one more thing, when we go and use this user info command, when we pass this name argument value as well as these optional parameters, so after passing all these values we can get access over those values by using this params array. So I will use this user info with all these values like name argument as well as optional parameters. So I will go and type print r inside this run method and see that how we get those values. Save these changes, back to project terminal, and let's open the help manual of user info command. So PHP Spark help, and if I type user info, press enter. Now from this documentation, from this help manual, now we have the complete idea that before using this user info we need to pass an argument, that is provide the full name of person and then optional parameters. So we can pass the value of username and email. So first I will use only this name argument value. So PHP Spark, let's say user info, and I will pass it my name here, press enter. So we can see that by using this print r function by the values of params, now we get access over this first value which is at the 0th index of this name argument. Now let's pass these flags here. PHP Spark user info, then we have the value, so I will pass my name here. Next we have the flag as username. So here after passing this username flag, put a space here and pass the value. So let's say OWT is the username, space, then I will pass the email flag, space, and let's say sample@gmail.com. This is the value. Either you can put this value without double quotes or just assign those values in double quotes. If I press enter, now we can see that at 0th index we are getting this argument value, at username we are getting the username value, and inside email flag we are getting the email value. So successfully by using this command we are reading our parameters what we have passed while using that. Back to editor. So instead of printing, I will use CLI because by default this file also imported a CLI class here. So I will use CLI, and from CLI I will use a write method, and inside here let's say user values, and I will concatenate all the values what basically the user will pass while using this user info command. So user values, and here let's say name, or I will call it as full name, equals to params, and we will get the full name from 0th index. So first I will check that if it is each set, and also it is not equals to empty. So in that case we'll get that value, otherwise we will have the empty value. So this is all about getting the full name. Let's check for the username. So I will copy the same syntax, paste it here, but this time instead of 0th index we'll get the username value inside this username. So I will copy this index value, go here, let's pass it here. Instead of 0 it will be username, and it will be username. And for the email case, the same pattern. Here it will be email, and here let's say email. Now let's go inside the CLI write. So user values, I will concatenate to put dot here, and let's say full name, dot here, comma, and let's say username, dot here, comma, and then we have the email value. So successfully we are editing all the values and outputting into our CLI. Back to terminal. So what I will do, let's use the same command, that is php spark user info. This is the full name of person, and after that here we have our username flag and the email flag. So if I press enter, now we can see that user values, this is all about the full name, this is all about username, and here we have the email address value. If I will go here, instead of printing, let's say full name colon, or I will put minus here. Next we have the username minus, and then email address. So if I save this change, this is all about the output formatting, and as we can see this is all about the full name, username, and the email value. So successfully these are the basic steps. By the help of that we can create our own custom command in the list of Spark CLI commands. And this is the latest feature, or we can say newest feature inside CodeIgniter version 4. After using each command of this Spark CLI command, actually we can control and manage the entire application, starting from creating a custom command to managing all the applications. In the next video, we'll discuss some more conditional logics while creating these custom commands. And I hope from this video you learned something new. So please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. So for this video session guys, thank you for watching and have a great day.